Good day, Coach. It's We're back with Coach Alex Surprenant of the McGill Redbirds, and I'm Andy Brookman. This is Overtime with the Friends of McGill Football, and this is the Red Zone Report. We're going to do a weekly review of last week's game and a preview of the coming week's game. So, Coach, let's get right into it. Big game last Friday at Molson Stadium against Université Sherbrooke. Big W to start the season with. Let's start with the offense. ELR, and I got he got his name in the record books forever and ever now. Uh, 26 all-time rushing touchdowns, 327 in the air, 60 plus yards rushing. Um, Talk a little bit about the season he's already started having.
Yeah, so I was glad to kind of confirm what we saw during spring camp, and I've been speaking about that a lot in the media, where I felt that Iloa was more comfortable with the offense, as we mentioned. It's his first opportunity to work in the same offensive system for a second season in a row now at the university level. So for sure, it's kind of normal to see him more in control, and that's what we saw in the field, and not only passing, but for me, like his pocket presence was better. His decisions were better, and we grade everything that we do here at McGill. Camp, regular practice or games, and his assignment grades was the best he ever had in a game since we've been working with him. So he had a great day.
Yeah, he was able to spread the ball around too, which is one thing I noticed.
Yeah,
Getting to
absolutely. Absolutely, and that's the way we play offense, in the sense that we're always trying to find the best opportunity to have either a one-on-one or a two-on-two or a three-on-three. We're trying to avoid to play football in two bad numbers. That's what we do, and Iloa was pretty good at that.
Perfect. Running game got going too. The big run was the 81 yarder by Momo, freshman who looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that play.
Yeah.
Talk a
So
little bit about the
yeah,
running game. It's got to be there to complement
yeah,
Eloy with the
yeah.
passing.
Yeah, and once again, going back to what we do offensively, that sometimes we're gonna have games where we're gonna throw the ball 45 times, and other times we're gonna have games where we're gonna be running the ball 45 times, and I know that the classic football game seen by fans is, oh, you have to keep the balance between rushing and passing. This is not exactly what we do, to be very honest with you guys, but at the same time, when you take a big lead, like we did, at some point in the second half, we were changing a little bit the play calls offensively, choosing some that we knew that we had a better odds to potentially give the ball there, and that's what we did. And on that specific play from Jerry was a short yardage play, like 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 3, where we definitely want to try to run the ball and move the sticks. And he did not only that, but he did a great run after that. So shout out to the blocks in front of him, and after that for him to bring into the house.
Yeah, the O-line had a terrific game there too, making those holes. You talked a little bit about the balance, ELR being able to run so well. It adds the sort of a dimension there that you talked about. Um, Great first game for the offense. A lot to work on, I guess, but it must have been satisfying to see the O-line working like they did.
Yeah, so say everyone was talking a lot about the sacks last year. I think we gave 2 or 3 last Friday, but at the same time, once again, people need to understand what we're trying to do offensively, where we're probably passing more than the normal teams are doing. So it's kind of normal to see a higher number of sacks. We're throwing the ball more into intermediate or vertical routes. So once again, it's going to take more time to develop. So once again, kind of normal to give a bit more sacks. So for me, I was happy with the game of the O line. Not perfect. I thought it at the beginning. We were kind of reading it too much, not very like moving forward, trying to block people, and that's I think that at the beginning of the game, our run game was not at very good, but we started to do better blocks while the game was going, and we end up protecting Eloa a bit better, and at the same time. last year, half of those sacks are probably on the quarterback for holding the ball too long or stuff like that. So it's kind of sacks for me are teamwork. Like O-line did a decent job on Friday night, and Iloa did a better job with his pocket presence, and he was able sometimes to just extend the play without trying to run right away, which was something that he was probably doing a bit more last year. So it was a good combination of that. And then Brandon Ciccarello did a good job too, protecting his quarterback when we were not giving him the ball.
Perfect. All right, let's go from RSCQ player, offensive player of the week, ELR, to the defensive side of things, where we were also had the defensive player of the week, RSCQ, Mathis Pinot. A couple of INTs, one was a pick six,
Mm-hmm.
couple of tackles in there, solo jobs and helpers as well. Defense, what I noticed jumped off the screen there was a lot of gang tackling, a lot of bodies at the ball. Talk a little bit about your defense, coach.
Oh, for me, it's pretty simple. It's probably the best defensive game I ever had since I'm working here. Okay, so shout out to Coach Max and his staff, and shout out to the defensive players they did a great job. Well, for me, Matsis had a great day for sure. As an ex DB, I always appreciate defensive backs making plays on the ball.
Me
That's for
too.
sure.
Shout out.
But yeah, but for me, the most improved unit of this defense is the defensive line. I think we had seven guys dressing, six freshmen, and one second-year player. So it's a pretty young D line, but they did a good job. And I don't remember a game where we were able to bring as much pressure on the quarterback as we did. And for me, we also played what I'm going to call a complementary football, where we had two turnover and downs offensively because we're aggressive when we're down there near the end zone. We don't want to take field goals when we're at the 3 or the 4 or the 5. But at the same time, even if we fail offensively, it gives a great field position to the defense. And if you remember what happened after those two turnover on downs, one is the pick six, and one is the other pick of Matsis. And in both cases, those turnovers created points, right?
Turn into
So
points. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So sometimes people can freak out about the fact, oh, they're so aggressive, they miss the opportunities to take the field goal. This is not how we think football, and we saw that the benefit of that, where well the defense was able to create the key turnovers, and I can add also the bad fumble that we had offensively at the end of the second quarter. Once again, defense stand up tall there, and Sherbrooke ended up missing their field goal at the end of the half. So that was big. That was big for us.
Yeah, huge game. You mentioned the front four or the front, all the
Yeah,
guys, seven or whatever the
yeah.
number is total, but the freshmen, 11 starting freshmen on your D?
No,
Is
no, no,
that
no, no, no,
no?
not 11. No, no. The back end was we had no recruits on in the
Okay,
defensive
sorry.
backs. We had also veterans playing at linebackers, but we had like kind of a rotation on the D line. So six of the seven D lines who saw the field were recruits. So those
Right.
guys were rotating, but we probably had 11 dressed though defensively.
Okay.
So that might be the difference. And I think that pretty, if I don't mistake, I think that pretty much everyone played defensively during the game.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous. Like they seem to have that pack mentality on Friday. It was really fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, let's go to the special teams. Your kicking was terrific. Field goal and 5 point afters from Mario. A little bit to work on there with the special teams.
Definitely, and I think there's a couple of things here. So like we saw last week, like 22 to 22 recruits out of 52 players. So we had a lot of young guys playing on special teams last Friday night. But this is not an excuse where okay, we're going to accept that the recruit's going to make a mistake as long as we don't see the same mistake happening again and again and again. That's one thing that we need to improve. And I addressed with the team earlier this week that collectively as a team, like we need to put more time and serious on special teams. Like for me, like getting two field goal block at the end of the game where we're trying to take a three-score lead is unacceptable. And of course, without naming names, those mistakes were made by veterans. So it would be lying to say that it was only cause of the young guys, right? So I think that collectively as a team, we need to put a better effort. Um, I think it's something that we need, kind of part of the culture where, and shout out to Sherbrooke, who always have for years and years and years good special teams, and they're able to make plays against basically everyone in the league. So that's something that we also need to develop. But those things takes time, and of course, kids that are coming out CJEP or high school. Don't understand why suddenly special teams should become that important, right? Especially the CJEP guys that are used to playing four down football. So for them, special teams is a non-factor at all, basically. So we have to coach them up. And veteran players need also to lead the way and show the young guys that, yes, you need to spend as much time on defense offense than you need to spend on special teams too. It needs to be the same level of preparation. This is as much important, if not more important. So I think that the message was pretty clear earlier this week. We've been spending a lot of time on those issues. And also we saw some decent flash where we had some decent returns. We had some good coverages on some kicks. Like you said, Mario made a field goal. So there's some positive of that game, but once again, hats off to Sherbrooke, who always excel in that aspect of the game.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the special team is kind of an outgrowth of a training camp where a lot of emphasis is put on the offense and the defense and setting up your base sets and everything. Yeah, it's going to be the side of the ball maybe where it can decide a game, but in the
Absolutely.
end, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Started with a W. Fantastic at home, Molson Stadium. Now, a nice little test going on the road, facing the defending national champions, going to Stade Telus, Université de Laval. Coach, what are you looking for out of your team against the perennial powerhouse?
Hey, for us, it cannot be bigger as a test as it's going to be. It's going to be their home opener. It's their all-white game. Students are just arriving on campus. I'm expecting probably 18,000 in the stands. It's a Saturday night game. So I'm pretty sure some fans are going to have a beer or two before. So this
Maybe.
is like, for me, if you play football in this league, this is something that you should be excited to be part of. And for me, you want to go there. You want to try to do as good as you can, and possibly crash that party, right? So for us, it's a tremendous opportunity that we have. Big respect for Laval, of course, national champs, whole staff have been there together for years. This is pretty much the same team as they had last year when they won it all. So for sure, like I said, it cannot be a bigger test than that. And it's early in the season, so it's going to be a good measuring stick for us to see where how can we match those guys. Simply,
Absolutely. Fantastic. Okay, Coach, I know you're busy. Don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you very much for doing this. Just a reminder to everyone, with Friends of McGill Football, we are starting up again the QB Luncheon every Thursday. I don't know if this will be out before or after the QB luncheon, but moving forward in the coming weeks, the QB luncheon, the location sometimes may change. So check your Friends of McGill football newsletter. And for those of you who are heading out to Stade Telus, fly birds, let's go Redbirds. Good luck
let's
this
go.
weekend, Coach.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.